What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Good Morning Tottenham. And the news gets worse and worse by the day, to be honest. It really does. We are now day 28, people.
Happy day 28.
Yeah,
happy.
Exactly. Hell, happy day 28. Still
For
no
everyone
signings
out there.
Still no signings out. But apparently we have had a bid accepted for a player, which we'll get into a bit later. But I think
transfers.
Yeah, we've had a bid accepted for someone. But let's start off with the biggest news of the day, and that was the news that broke last night about 2 a.m, which is Luis Diaz on the brink of a Liverpool move, on the back of obviously we brought you the whole news in the last 48 hours. Tottenham putting in low-balling bids. Bids that are getting shunned, getting pushed back. Suddenly it came out last night that Tottenham are ready to hit the mark that Porto want. But what happens is a bigger club comes in and obviously we lose our man. But let me run through the headlines. Matteo Morata said this morning that Liverpool want to close the deal for Luis Diaz in the next few hours. This was the first news that actually broke the Liverpool situation last night, which was a publication out in Portugal called O Jogo. And they said Luis Diaz will be a Liverpool player in exchange for 45 million euros plus 15 million if he meets certain bonuses. The players will be decisive. The Colombian wants a bigger club than Tottenham, one that fights for titles and plays in the Champions League. Fabrizio Romano confirmed the news, saying Porto have received Liverpool's official bid for Luis Diaz, 40 million plus 25 million in bonuses. Deal entering the final stages between the clubs. Diaz is currently in South America with Colombia, and Liverpool want to plan and be prepared for the medical to be there. David Ornstein saying that Liverpool are on course to sign Luis Diaz. The winger wants to move to Anfield over a move to Tottenham. Sources expect the fee to be around 60 million euros, including add-ons. Jonathan Veal says Tottenham were ready to do the Diaz deal from a financial point of view, but the player wants Liverpool. And finally, Ali Gold says Tottenham were understood to be furious when the news of Diaz talks with Porto were leaked to the Portuguese media. And that's because of the situation they find themselves in now. So that is the state of play with Luis Diaz. It looks like we have lost another one. So that's, never mind what's happened in the past 20 years, but that's the third one now, this window, from Adama Traore to Frank Kessie and now Luis Diaz.
Yeah, another one bites the dust, which is a massive, massive blow to our transfer plans, let's be honest. He was the one who came from left field, who we're thinking maybe we could have got someone out of the blue which could improve the front line. As much as I thought he wasn't a priority, and I thought, if we're spending 50 million or so on a player, it could be another position. Definitely it was a transfer to be excited about. But I can't complain about him going to Liverpool. They're a better team right now, Champions League football, challenging for titles, probably going to offer more money wages-wise as well than Tottenham would. No complaints there. I think by all accounts, it looks like Tottenham were genuinely going for him. But what I'm really angry about is we're now day 28. We haven't got time to be scrambling around looking for more deals and more transfers. We're going to be really, really struggling to find good quality replacements for players that we need to upgrade in the squad, and it's going to be very, very difficult now. Any signing now is going to be some mad dash panic buy. Even Luis Diaz was probably an opportunistic signing rather than one that seemed to be planned out.
When's the last time we have planned out signings, first of all? And second of all,
probably.
Yeah, Højbjerg. In terms of what you were saying, you can't really have too many problems with him, choosing Liverpool over Spurs, and that's completely correct. But it's what it represents. It's a theme that keeps repeating itself. We go for targets and we can't get them through the door. Why do we wait till this long in the window to try and get our targets through the door? If we would have planned this properly and gone for him early in the window and then Liverpool gazumped us then, at least we have a whole window left to chase other targets. Now we're left on our legs once again with 3 days left of the window. We don't know where we were. It's basically like the first day of the window. We still have no clue what's going on.
And also, who knows? Just on the specific deal, we obviously had a bid rejected a few days ago. Liverpool have come in straight away, and it looks like they're going to have the deal agreed.
The club does their business.
Exactly, swift, quick. No screwing around. They get the deal done. They get the bid accepted, and they're getting him through the door. Who knows if a few days ago, if we would have very quickly, our first bid gets accepted, we usher through the deal very, very quickly, maybe we could have had this deal done before Liverpool even got wind of it. That's a possibility, but unfortunately for us, you know how Levy likes to do things. The first bid always has to be rejected. The first bid has to be an underbid, and that's how it is with this chairman and with this board, and that's how it's always going to be. But look, regardless of that, I'm just annoyed that another target has gone found wanting again. We're not going to be getting him through the door. Good quality player, and we're now 3 days left. What are we going to do with 3 days left? Honestly. We're running out of time, we're running out of targets. I'm sure there's going to be a mad dash, but the way this board operates and how we operate with transfers, how have we gotten worse with Paratici? And I don't understand. It's like we've gotten worse.
We have.
How is that possible?
We have got worse. We've got a weaker squad than last year. We're not improving at all. And when you look at Liverpool signing Luis Diaz, you know, he's nowhere near. They've got Mane, Salah, Jota, Firmino. You know, they've got quality players up front. And this is what a proper club does. They have the foresight. These players, Mane and Salah, going into... You know, they're going into their 30s very soon, and they have the foresight to go, all right, we've still got world-class players up there, but we're going to have foresight for the future and not let anyone else get our targets, and we're going to bring him in. You know what I mean? If this was Spurs and we had plans to bring him in the summer, and let's say we were the favourites for him, and you see another club going for him, there's no chance we would have gone for him and try and outbid someone. It's ridiculous. What Liverpool have done, what Barcelona have done with Adama Traore, that is how proper clubs act. And the way Tottenham are acting right now is schoolboy stuff. Everything has to be some big, massive negotiation. You have to save every single penny that we can, and it leads to deals dragging on. And this is always the possibility when that happens. The possibility of you getting gazumped and people moving ahead of you in the queue because they act quicker, they act more decisively, whereas we're still deciding whether to push the button on this one and that one and still considering this and considering that. I mean, it's pathetic. It really is, and we have to move with the times. We're lagging behind yet and yet again. Conte has been consistently calling for better quality players, more players in the squad. He even said himself, "Look, if we think we're going to solve every problem we have in January, we're mistaken. But at least solve some.
Exactly. At least try. At least try and improve the quality of the squad." And at the moment, we sit on day 28. And nothing looks like it's happening. I'm not going to be surprised now, to be honest, if because of those leaks of the Diaz deal, if everything now is going to be very hush-hush surrounding any future transfers. We might not hear about any deal until maybe very late on. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next 3 days.
To be honest, though, these leaks didn't come from the Tottenham side. It was all very hush-hush from the Tottenham side, and they were very angry that this news did come out. It all got leaked on the Porto side of things, on the Portuguese side of things, which Tottenham don't really have that many... what were we about to say?
When we underbid so much, maybe they were pissed off at the bid. So they're like, look, try and get Liverpool involved. Look, they've had a bid rejected. So anyone else interested?
Again, it's not that him choosing Liverpool over Tottenham is the main sticking point here. It's what it all represents once again. You know, taking too much time to identify your targets, taking too much time to go for your targets, lowballing with your targets. You know what I mean? It's just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, wait till day 28 and then underbid.
I've had enough of it,
and get the bids rejected.
I've had enough of it. I really have. I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, who are we going to sign now that's going to be anywhere near the quality of Luis Diaz? We're not.
Yeah.
We're just not.
I don't know what Paratici's record was in terms of waiting till very late in the window at Juventus. But all I know is this has been the pattern ever since Levy's been in charge. It's been the pattern for a very long time at Tottenham. Always wait till the very last second, and then more often than not have the bid rejected and end up with nothing, basically. So, when I look at right now the situation, am I going to blame Paratici, who's come in, who's had 7 months, and to identify targets and should have been also getting his targets in quickly, or is it again down to Daniel Levy, who seems to be the one ultimately who signs off on every transfer, who has to be convinced of transfers, and ultimately has control of the checkbook? Some people say, look, we have given off control to Paratici, and it was his move to get Nuno in, and that didn't work out, and now we're scrambling around for targets which he should have identified early. But I don't know. I don't know. Or is it again the same guy who's been to blame for a very long time? I mean, the pattern tells me it's Daniel Levy. That's what the pattern tells me. But maybe Fabio does have to take some responsibility for how we're conducting ourselves in this window.
At the end of the day, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't know who's making the decisions, but it's the same pattern that's followed Daniel Levy around. No matter what sporting director, no matter what director of football he hires, whether it's Frank Arneson, whether it's Damien Comoli, whether it's Fabio Paratici, whether it's Paul Mitchell. You know what I mean? It's the same thing over and over again. And he's not the guy that loses his job. You know what I mean? There's always a scapegoat that loses his job because of Daniel Levy's screw-ups. And that's the same constant theme now for what, the last 10, 15 years?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I'm not going to blame Fabio Paratici. I'm going to blame the common denominator, and that is Daniel Levy every single time.
Well, yeah, I think everyone's lost patience now. I think everyone can see through it at the moment, how we conduct ourselves and how we operate. And it's look, everyone called it from the first sign we saw this deal that Tottenham weren't going to get this over the line. Let's be honest, the deal made too much sense for Tottenham to actually get it over the line. An actual good quality player. So. I think as much as I don't blame Diaz for choosing Liverpool over Tottenham, I blame Tottenham for leaving themselves in a situation with 3 days left in the window and we're scrambling around for our whatever choice targets now, fourth, fifth choice targets in any position. We don't look close to getting anyone. And whether we actually do get someone in now, you know, remains to be seen whether they're going to be of any quality to actually upgrade what we already have, because it's going to be very difficult for a selling club right now to sell at this stage of the window. And it's happened so many times. We wait till the last minute and then we bid for a player and the selling club goes, no, it's too late. Like, we don't have time to bring anyone in. And it's going to be very difficult for that situation not to reoccur.
And it just proves, you know, everyone goes, oh, it's so hard to spend money in January. It's so hard to bring in top quality talents in January. Look at Newcastle. They're bringing Guimaraes now in the central midfield. They brought in Trippier, who's better than probably anyone that we have at right. I'm not saying I want Trippier, but he's better than anyone that we've got at right back. Look at Juventus. They've just brought in Vlahovic, where everyone said Vlahovic ain't going nowhere this January. Luis Diaz is going to Liverpool. You know what I mean? There's quality players to be had. There's quality players to be had if you play your cards right.
And more on the Liverpool Diaz deal. Who do they have in the forward line? They have Mane, they have Salah, they have Jota, they have Firmino, and yet they're not satisfied with that. They're still looking to improve. They're still looking to add more quality to the squad. Imagine we had Salah and Mane. Would we even think about signing any player in those positions? Of course not.
And this brings you back to the point of when Pochettino was here and when they were all like, oh, we can't upgrade this squad. This squad's too good. We can't upgrade it. How can we ever sign a player in a transfer window that's going to be better than what
even
we have?
Now, Harry Kane. How many times have we heard with Harry Kane? We can't sign a striker because Harry Kane is so good, and we can't sign a striker who's going to compete with Kane because they're worried they're not going to get game time or whatever. And you know, can't sign a backup to Kane because Kane is such a world-class striker. Yet other clubs seem to have this problem. They don't have problems splashing big money on players which could help add competition, add quality to the team. Yet Tottenham Hotspur seem to think in a very different way all the time. I know we bid for Diaz when we had the likes of Son and Kane, but that is a rare occurrence for us to do that.
So let's not get it twisted, right? 5 years ago, we were better than Liverpool. We were on a better path than Liverpool. We dawdled on what we were doing. We didn't bring anyone in. Literally had, 2 transfer windows in a row without getting anyone in, or maybe it was just the one in the summer. But what did they do? They identified the key targets, what they needed to get in to improve themselves, and they've been improving year on year on. And like you said, with Salah, Mane, Firmino, Jota, with quality players up front, they're still improving. They're bringing fresh blood now with Luis Diaz, which will confirm their spot at the top, even more. And they're going to keep doing that until they're winning the league again.
It's very frustrating. A lot of Tottenham fans are going to be waking up this morning very frustrated with the news.
This all coming through last night.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but last night the sources weren't so reliable, and then all of a sudden...
Yeah, but it was all like a lot of sources that aren't too reliable all out in Portugal coming out saying the same thing. It was a bit too suspicious last night.
And now here we are. Sorry, I've seen a bunch of super chats which have just come and gone, and I can't find them anymore.
I've got the top ones, so don't worry.
You got the top ones?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because there's a few more here. So let's get through them then.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's get to some super chats. First of all, we've got 2,220 people watching right now. Everyone, please go and smash that like button and smash that subscribe button as well, as we'll get through to some super chats. Travis Kendall saying, today is too expensive. Hashtag Enoch out.
Yep.
Hashtag Levy out. Absolutely
right
spot
about
on.
that.
Oh, I've just lost them now. Go on, you go.
I don't understand this for YouTube. Why would they not keep your super chats there? I don't know why they make them disappear. It's so silly.
This is YouTube for you.
Jory says, I expected very, very, very little of this window, but holy shit, how long can you go? How low can you go? How low can you
How
go?
low can you go?
I'm sure there'll be even. I'm sure we haven't hit the worst part. I reckon.
exactly. There's plenty more twists and turns.
I don't know if you know Levy or not.
In the next final 3 or 4 days.
Scorpion Fans for Life says 1st of Feb. Brian, Ben, transfer debate. Get ready, Ben, with a wink, with a winky face.
Yeah, all these people coming out.
Coming
I
after
need to apologise to Brian. I need to do this. I need to do that. Yeah, after 7 days. After 7 days.
Apologise, Ben. A written statement, like Rashford missing a penalty.
I'm going to give my statement now because after 7 days, I said, we need to call for calm. But I also said in that same video, if we haven't signed anyone after 15, 20 days, then panic will definitely set in, and I'll be the first one to admit that. And this is day 28. This ain't even day 20.
Exactly, day 28. And targets are passing us by. We're just dawdling again. The most annoying thing is, like, if you get a target like Diaz and you think, okay, we can get him, just get him in. None of this negotiating for days on end. Get him in, and then you sort everything out later. But no, Tottenham have to, every nook and cranny has to be analysed and looked over, and it takes time and days and hours. And then we get gazumped, and it's happened a couple of times now. Where are we? Amit S says, big up lads, what exactly happened? Hearing Liverpool offered a lower financial package and he accepted it. I'm gutted. This feels like Mane all over again. I don't know about the financial package.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they offered more in terms of the whole package was worth about 60 million. But, you know, what we were hearing
maybe
is
no,
Spurs
but maybe
were
he's
ready to
hearing
make
wages. Maybe he's talking about wages. I don't know.
Wages.
I don't know. But yeah, it's not on Diaz to accept it, is it? It's on the club to accept it. I don't think the financial package. From all accounts, we're hearing that Spurs were willing to match whatever Liverpool were bidding. Apparently,
we were willing
never
to.
did. But yeah, I don't know. Look, Liverpool
Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap.
Liverpool gazumped us. That's the reality, and that's it. And we have to live with that. And another deal goes begging. Michael Hellman says, thank you for your noble work. We need a unified fan base during this time. Levy out. Lauren Richia says, so much for backing Conte. This is a disgrace. And Kilo Tango said, it's happened again. It's happened again. Daniel Levy, it's happened again. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, and as I said, it's not that the deal, we haven't got this specific deal over the line that's most annoyed me. It's the state of our transfer window. That's what's really pissed me off. That's what's really got me angry, because we shouldn't be on day 28, again, staring down the reality of the position we're in right now. And we have so much work to do.
Because they're trying. They're trying so hard by putting in these low-balling offers and letting other teams gazump us. They're trying so hard. So don't go into them too hard.
Yeah, they've been trying hard for 15 years.
Yeah. But look, let's move on. Let's move on and let's talk about the next player, which is Tanguy Ndombele. Yesterday, by all accounts, it looked as though the deal was very close to happening. Romano saying Tottenham and PSG are confident of Tanguy Ndombele loan move, but not done yet. The Telegraph saying that Tottenham are finally close to agreeing a deal to move on Tanguy Ndombele. PSG are in advanced negotiations over a loan with an option to buy, but L'Equipe this morning saying internal voices at PSG have worries over Ndombele's state of mind, and there's a feeling he's potentially too similar to Paul Pogba, who could arrive on a free in the summer. Ndombele's huge wages put a huge brake on the transfer.
Yeah, they're worried about his state of mind, which is exactly what Mourinho's been saying, exactly what Conte seems to be saying. No one doubts his quality, but his mentality has always been the big question mark, hasn't it? That's always been the big issue, and that's now what apparently PSG are worried about. So it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. If this deal doesn't go through, then we really are not going to get anyone.
Yeah,
this will be it pretty much for us in this window, because he's on big wages. He's a player we need to get out of the door to free up some money, and I don't know. If this doesn't get over the line, I don't know what we're going to do when it comes to incomings, because we're in this bloody. I was talking to Brian on WhatsApp today. There's this. It's the Daniel Levy paradox. We can't sign anyone until we sell any players, and we can't sell any players until we sign replacements. Like I'm hearing yesterday, there's Tottenham still want Bergwijn, but Tottenham are reluctant to get Bergwijn until we get replacement. So we can't sign anyone until we sell players.
We can't sell anyone
and we can't
sign anyone.
So it's a paradox. That's why there's no movement for us. We don't know what we're doing. We have no clue. We don't know how to conduct ourselves in the transfer window. We've been doing the same shit for decades, and it's all going on. But look, that's not to do with Ndombele, but the whole Ndombele thing doesn't surprise me that PSG are having second thoughts.
It's like we've been waiting all window for this Ndombele thing to happen, so some sort of domino effect can happen in this transfer window with Spurs. And even that they can't get over the line with 28 days gone. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on. When is something just going to... When are we going to get a break? When are we going to get a break? It's just bad news after bad news after bad news. This is the life of a Tottenham fan. It really is so stressful, man. It really is.
Yeah. We shouldn't be reliant on all these things, but because of how we run our club, this is exactly what we're reliant on. And we're not willing to spend anything out of our own pocket, only what we get in. That's always been the case, and that's always going to be the case pretty much until I don't know. It'll never, that's it. It's not until anything.
And even when we do spend the money, the recruitment's been so poor.
Yeah,
so poor. I mean, I can't remember like the last time we actually. I mean, we got signed Højbjerg, fine. He's been good for our first team. But before Højbjerg, who was the last like proper signing that we made?
The last proper signing that we made
that's impacted the first team.
Well, it's supposed to be Romero, but he got injured. I'm looking at our first team. It's like
Mora in that January. Son was
Has Mora really impacted the first team? He's been a squad player most of the time until like a few months ago.
Yeah, it's a Son.
Wow, really? Yeah.
Son is the last one we've really signed that's proper impacted the first team. If you take Højbjerg and Højbjerg's in there obviously, but I'm talking about before Højbjerg. It's got to be only Son. I can't think of anyone else. Toby was before Son, wasn't he?
Toby was before Son, yeah.
So it was Son. Can you think of anyone else?
Wow, that's mad. That's 2015.
Yeah.
Anyone
that just shows you how poor
Reguilon. But he was also one that came out of the blue. Wasn't planned, was he?
The thing is with Reguilon, yeah, he's been all right. I don't think he's proper like been amazing and really impacted the first team. It's not like we've been doing great since Reguilon has come in. You know what I mean? Son has been the only one that's really been a top talent that's really impacted the first team, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's like a nailed-on starter, and like, yeah. It has to be Son. Son's like the last one, pretty much.
Which is mental. It's mental. Mm-hmm. For a team that were consistently in the Champions League, for a team that got to the Champions League final, since 2015, not to make any proper key signings to impact the first team, like to the impact that Son did. It's mental. It's absolutely mental.
It is crazy when you think about it like that. It's absolutely insane when you think about it like that. And the big money signings haven't worked out. But I mean, what do you think happens if Ndombele is still here on February 1st? Do you reckon Conte uses him? No, do you reckon Conte uses him? Might have no choice
unless he makes the effort. Because, you know, this happened...
It's this bloody cycle again, isn't it? The Ndombele cycle.
It's the same cycle. We had the same problem last January. We were like, we're going to sell Ndombele. Deal didn't move. And then suddenly he got into Jose Mourinho's plans, didn't he? And became a central figure. Mm-hmm. So maybe the same thing will happen again. I don't know.
We're going to hear... We'll hear again leaks saying, Ndombele's ready to fight for his place and he's ready to knuckle down. We'll always hear that as soon as any failed move materialises.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see, because at the moment doesn't look like he's going if PSG aren't certain about him.
I know, but look, we'll just have to wait and see how this one plays out. I'm sure there'll be more twists and turns and more news to bring to you on the Tanguy Ndombele saga, one that's been rumbling on since the first week of the window. But let's move on and let's talk about Tottenham having a bid accepted for a player, and that is, he goes by the name of Ollie Tanner. The Athletic brings us the story that Tottenham's bid for non-league talent Ollie Tanner has been accepted by Lewis FC. Dan Kilpatrick says Tottenham have had a 6-figure bid accepted by non-league club Lewis FC for Ollie Tanner, who's 19. It includes a sell-on clause, which is received to be around 15%. There was interest from other Premier League clubs and Championship clubs, but Tanner is yet to agree to anything yet.
Oh, what? So he's going to reject that?
He's on by it for him as well.
Great. So we're signing a non-league striker, 19 years of age, who's probably going to go straight to the under-23s, and he's probably going to replace...
Yeah, apparently he's replacing Markande in the under-23s.
So he's replacing a boyhood Tottenham fan, even though he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
So we're replacing a Tottenham fan
about Harry Kane in a derogatory way.
Exactly. So fantastic. He might have been killing it in non-league, but look, again... Okay, he might be a good talent. I don't mind getting him through the door, but this is nothing to be excited about when we're 3 days left of the window. We have a world-class manager who's been calling for signings, and we're signing 19-year-old players from non-league. It's like, I don't think Conte probably even knows who he is. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even know. I don't think Conte cares about that. This isn't the... Fine, go ahead and sign him. It's not. I don't really care. Like it's whatever. He might be a good player in the future, but right now we have an opportunity and we're wasting it. We're probably. I reckon it's like, we're Spurs are concentrating on the Tanner deal, and then they'll move on to other targets. That's probably the party line from the club right now. Yeah. I mean, great. We're signing an Arsenal fan who
hasn't even accepted us yet, by the way. He's not like it's not like we've put an offer and we've put a contract in front of him and he's jumping up to sign it.
No, apparently not.
He's a non-league player.
Yeah, I can't even fully commit. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look, is he going to be our backup striker? Honestly, I'd rather give Scarlett the chances.
Replacement in the under-23s, and we've paid 6 figures for him, by the way.
I'd rather give Scarlett more chances, honestly, to be honest. I don't know. I've never seen him play. I don't know anything about him, but
yeah. But even if you have seen him play, playing in non-league, what can you really take away from what you see?
If he's 19, you never know. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I got nothing to say about him. Just more frustration that this is what we're spending our time. Well, why do we have to really sign him now in January? Like, is this like a priority for us? Can't we get him in the summer? Are we worried clubs are lining up for him? I don't know.
We're going to get gazumped by a Championship side.
Yeah, probably.
Let's move on then. Let's get to a few more super chats. Jason Reed saying the common lie is players are choosing the bigger teams over Spurs because they want Champions League football. Newcastle are in a relegation battle. Levy out. I mean, but Newcastle aren't going for the same players as we are, so...
No, but I guess he's saying that you can get good quality players even if you're in a relegation battle.
You can.
If you pay enough money, that is.
Yeah, exactly. Siraj0414 says, what the hell is just happening? We have to drag a bloody negotiation this long only to have our targets get stolen right under our noses in the blink of an eye. We have become a laughingstock. Pathetic.
Transfer business is a joke, yeah.
It is a joke.
Absolute joke.
Crocodoc saying, laughing is better than crying. We nearly secured Ollie Tanner, but no one wants him because he's a gooner who mocked Harry Kane. Yeah. Absolutely spot on.
Lisa, I mean, to be honest, personally, I haven't seen it. I've just been told about it, but if that's true, it definitely
I saw the tweet.
Definitely leaves a bit of taste of the mouth when. But look, he's just a young kid, isn't he? That's true. So a lot of people say stupid stuff when they're young. So I'm not going to hold it against him, but like for too long. But it just doesn't sit right when we've let go of a talented youth player in Markande. I mean, I know he wasn't signing a contract, but he's a boyhood Tottenham fan who loved Tottenham, and he's gone, and we're bringing an Arsenal fan who mocks Harry Kane. It's just a bit annoying.
Yeah, it is. Another super chat here from Tot943 saying, I will be at the protest Monday. Hope to see Brian. And I'm sure you most definitely will if you do go to the training ground. But let's move on to the last story so far of the day. And this is regarding Alvaro Morata. And a publication out in Spain say the future of Alvaro Morata will be decided tomorrow, which is today, and he does have an offer from Tottenham. A Barcelona publication say Alvaro Morata's future will be decided tomorrow. In addition, Barca He has also offers from Newcastle and Tottenham. Atletico were only considering selling him, but will accept a loan, but not within the Spanish league, only outside of the Spanish league. So Barca do want him on loan apparently, so that I don't think that's going to happen because Atletico Madrid don't want to loan him to a Spanish side. So I guess it's between Newcastle and Spurs for his signature, if you want to believe the reports.
Yeah, and look, this is a deal which a lot of people are going to laugh at, and a lot of people are immediately going to go, no, this is terrible, why are we in for him, he's a terrible striker, all this kind of stuff. But I, for one, wouldn't be that against this deal. I think he's a striker who has a fairly decent goal scoring, not amazing goal scoring record, but decent. He always gets between 10 and 15 goals a season usually.
I mean, he always gets between 10 and 12, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got I think one season for Madrid.
He hasn't hit 15 since like 2016 or something.
Still, look, he usually gets over 10 goals a season. He's got big pedigree, international level. He plays a lot for Spain. He's even though he's been at a few clubs, I think he's always gone to a club like Atletico, Real, Juventus, Chelsea. And now he's always gone there and asked to be the first choice striker, and I don't think he's good enough for that. But if we bring him in on a 6-month loan to play backup for Kane, I mean, I think there are a few players we can get who are better than him right now, to be honest.
I guarantee you, if we bring in Morata, by the end of it, we're all going to be so stressed with him, we won't want to sign him up permanently.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, but then it's only a loan, so it's not the end of the world.
As a loan deal to play backup for Kane, look, I don't have the biggest problem with it, but what it represents is more panic from Tottenham Hotspur. That's what it represents.
You got to remember Conte brought him in at Chelsea, though, didn't he? So he knows him. He flopped there. Yeah, he did flop there, but his goal scoring record at Chelsea. As much as he was known for his big misses, I think he's still got over 10 goals.
I think he got 10 goals in his first season, and then I think in his second season he got about 5, which he went halfway through, I think.
Yeah, he left. He was there for 18 months. So, I mean, look, you can laugh at it and you can say it's not good enough, but at the end of the day, who will we bring in right now who can score 10 goals a season? From now no one. So I'll honestly take him. I'll take him as a backup right now for the end of the season.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I would take him in as a backup if literally there is no one else. But again, it's what it represents in this window. We can't get any targets. We're panicking right at the end, going for Alvaro Morata, going for a player who, the player that we wanted first and foremost was Dusan Vlahovic, and he's gone to Juventus, and we're just going to take Juventus's sloppy thirds, sloppy seconds. And it's what it represents. He's not a good enough player. He's an okay player, but he's the most frustrating striker in Europe, probably. The amount of chances he misses, the amount of times he's offside. Yes, he scores goals here and there, but ultimately he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
I think he's good enough to be our backup for 6 months. I think he is. That's what I would say. I think if we got him on a loan deal for 6 months, get some more. It's just another body up front, a player who we know is capable of scoring the odd goal. And he was also actually, not only that, his general play is actually not bad. He's quite good at hold-up plays, decent in the air. He's actually not bad most places apart from his finishing. Yeah, his finishing is very hit and miss. I give you that. Like, we know that. But even then, as you said, he still scores around 10 goals a season. In all competitions, he'll get like 15 or so. So I think we could do a lot worse than Morata, is my point. In the next for a 6-month loan deal. If it was a 6-month loan deal with an option to buy for a cheap price, I'll do it. Why not? Get him in.
Take up that option. I really do not want to take up that option. If we have him for the next 6 months, we're all going to be so sick to death of him by the end of it. And
we'll see. What if he does well?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see him doing well. I really can't.
If he gets 6 goals from now to the end of the season as a backup, that's all right.
Would he want to stay consistently as a backup? Maybe for the 6 months to prove himself, maybe. But after that, he's not going to want to stay here as backup. Let's be honest.
Well, it hasn't worked as a starter anyway. That's the truth. Like, the numbers that he gets, they're not bad as backup numbers, but they're obviously very bad as starting numbers.
But as a backup, he won't get anywhere near those numbers because he won't be playing anywhere near as much minutes.
Who knows? I think he's not bad off the bench. Like, off the bench, you can make an impact.
I don't know, man. I think it's all right from now until the end of the season, just as a stopgap. But he's not who I want long term as a backup. He's just not. He's just way too frustrating for me.
Fair enough. I think I don't want him. I don't. It depends what you want as a backup striker. Do you want someone who could potentially overtake Kane or challenge Kane for the first team? Because if that's what you want, then yeah, Morata's not your guy. But if you want someone who's purely going to be like, if you want someone who's going to be back up to Kane, like he's got no chance of like overtaking Kane, then I'll take Morata.
I want what Conte said. And what did Conte said? If we need to bring in a striker that is a similar level to Harry Kane. That's what we need.
Yeah, and Morata's not that.
And that's not Morata.
No, he's not a similar level to Kane.
To Antonio Conte. We need to listen to the guy in charge, and we need to follow his demands. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, my point is with 3 days to go.
Yeah, and I'm saying from now until the end of the window, fine. But anything past the summer, he's not good enough.
Yeah, but I hear that, and I agree with that right now. But what I'm saying is, if he does come, right, say we get him on a 6-month loan deal, and he actually does quite well, then I'm open to keeping him.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, right now we're nowhere near close to getting him anyway.
No,
the rumors are that we have put in a loan move for him, so we'll just have to see how it turns out, how it goes on. But that is the Morata situation. We're going to start bringing on some guests now, but let's just go through some super chats just before we do. You want to take us through them? From
Stephen Cruises. He says, you are not wrong to call for calm. We spend more than Italian clubs in recent years. Our issue is with our recruitment and our prestige. Levy is too involved in deals. I'm nervous, but the money is there. Well, I wish the money might be there, but we don't know. We never see it, especially not in the way we should.
Yeah, the thing is, we do see the money. We do see the money from time to time. But the recruitment has been shot to pieces. The recruitment has been awful. Like we said before, Son is the last big signing that we've made that's actually made it.
Yeah, and not only that, but we also wait until the last minute all the time. Why do we never have a clear plan of action and execute it? We're always scrambling around late in the window. Sam Falconer says, I cannot believe the Tanner signing. Do you have no shame? Abuses Kane in the 7th tier. Why? And we buy him? ? Yeah, I mean, look, as I said, I haven't seen it. I've been told about it, and that doesn't sit right with me that he's done that. But as I said, he's a young kid. I don't know how old was he when that happened. Do you know how long ago it was?
I'm not sure.
So look, he's 19. It feels like 2 or 3 years ago. He's a teenager. They say stupid shit. I'm not saying like he was right to do it, or we should. That's it. Forget about it. But I'm just saying you can't crucify him for his whole life for one stupid comment he made when he was a teenager. You know, every teenager in their life has done stupid stuff. So I'm not going to hold it against him forever. You know what I mean? Ryan Isaacs Kennard says, Paddy Power, stop taking bets on Conte, next manager to leave and next United manager.
Are they?
I think he's suggesting.
Oh, he's saying Paddy Power. Oh, right.
I think so. I don't think he's saying they have.
Get your money on, Ryan. Get your money on.
Dean Collingbourne says, we're like a business. Levy and Lewis need to go. Aston Villa are showing how to back a manager. This is our only chance to take advantage of the best manager of a generation.
And look at Aston Villa, right? Aston Villa don't dawdle around. Aston Villa are not like longing out sagas and stuff like that. They identified Coutinho, who was in the next day. Chambers, I know maybe Chambers is not a player that we want or a top talent or whatever like that, but we didn't even hear any rumours about that. We just heard, they've loaned Chambers.
No, I think it's signed him permanently.
Oh, is it permanent?
I think so.
It was a loan.
I think it's permanent. That's the second time they did that, because you remember in the summer, Danny Ings. Not one rumour. Not one rumour.
As well. You know, the way they do business is commendable, man.
And not only that, which first of all, I think you're right. Although, yeah, as I say, Chambers wouldn't be a player I want. But,
but it's not about the actual player that they brought in, but it's about the way they do their business.
But it's not just that; it's their chairman as well. He very publicly explains things to the fans. Yeah, but first of all, not only he did that Grealish thing in the summer, But also recently during this transfer window, he was talking about Steven Gerrard and targets and plans with him, and like very openly having discussion with the fans. Whenever we hear from Levy, it's always PR bullshit, you know, about how we're going to get the DNA back and how all this kind of rubbish from him,
lies after lies,
which we heard in the summer.
Lies after lies.
Yeah, we heard about we're going to get the Spurs DNA back. We lost sight of our goals, and then we bring in Nuno, and we have a terrible transfer. Like it's Levy, as Brian Daigle likes to say, the bullshit production. Yeah. I think that's the best way of putting it.
It really is.
But yeah, the way the Villa board conduct themselves is a lot better. There's actually some what's this exclusive breaking news? Not about Tottenham, but maybe this could have a knock-on effect. It's from David Ornstein.
They have suspended it, Paddy Power.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Maybe they know something we don't. I thought. Oh, so it wasn't a suggestion. He's saying it.
Yeah.
Paddy Bowers stopped taking bets on Conte. Yeah. Okay. David Ornstein has just tweeted saying Barcelona and Juventus have make an official approach to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on loan until the summer. Barca and Juventus. Unclear what Arsenal will do. Talks ongoing with both. If Arsenal grant exit, destination likely to be influenced by Morata. So there could be a bit of a knock-on effect there.
It's interesting why Juventus are going for Aubameyang. They've got Dybala and Vlahovic.
Yeah, maybe they want a third one. Mm-hmm. On loan, maybe if it's a loan deal, they get rid of Morata and get or maybe like, who knows, I don't know, is Vlahovic, maybe they can only sign him in the summer. I don't know what's going on with
Imagine having Vlahovic and Dybala in your squad and still going for another striker.
Yeah, but Dybala's not purely a striker, is he?
And he's also making, he might be leaving as well.
Yeah.
Dybala. Maybe he's the next one that we're going to be going for this transfer window.
But there you go. Aubameyang could be on his way to either Barcelona or Juventus. To be interesting. But that's also interesting because didn't they say Barcelona was one of the bid teams who bid for Morata? So if they're going for Aubameyang now, maybe it does leave a chance for us to get Morata for on loan deal until the end of the year.
Great. Have you gone? You've gone the Villa one. Have you done all the super chats?
Yeah, I believe so. What's this one? Yeah.
Victor Mathiasson, you did that one?
No. Oh, sorry. I thought it was just him.
I got it here. I think Morata is more than enough as a backup. That's the kind of player that can fill the ranks but not break the bank. Love the content, guys. Come on, you Spurs. And he's been a member for 5 months.
Big up to you. And that's basically my feeling towards Morata. I'm not like a massive Morata fan, but I don't think we can hope for any better from now to the end of the window than him, to be honest. And that's more on a state of our window and where we are rather than the talent of Morata. But I don't think he'd be a bad backup striker.
All right. I mean, do we have Brian Daigle in the back end? Because I think he's at the training ground.
Is he not there yet?
He says he's waiting in the back end. I know we got you there, Stel, in the background, but we're just going to get Brian on first because his battery could be running down at the training ground. So let's speak to Brian.
Brian! Brian, he's on mute.
Day 28.
Day 28
oh, no, you're not mute. You're not mute.
Balls production.
Yeah. How's it going over there today?
All good. How are you, boys?
Yeah, trying to get through it.
Again, it's just me, Graham and Ryan.
Yeah, hold the camera up, Brian. Let's see the surrounding areas. Let's see what's going on over there. There we go.
Mate, that's absolutely fuck all. There's me, Graham and Ryan. There's me, Graham and Ryan, like we have been every single day. I don't know if I can get them in very quickly because then I'll move away so you can come. Whoa, I almost dropped my phone. Let's see if I can get them in. Let's see if I can get them in. I'm trying. Can you see them?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we can see.
So listen.
Longest trophy drought. Yeah, you got the signs out.
I'm very happy to hear that our money that's coming to the club from NFL and boxing can get a guy from non-league. Delighted.
And he hasn't even accepted
and all the people that said. Exactly, and the thing that big deals don't get done in January, it's hard to move on, the excuses are coming out thick and thin. we're a mess, we're a joke. And like Ryan said in that super chat, when you checked it out, they've now suspended betting.
Crazy.
This club
It's
is a joke.
crazy. This club is a
this
joke.
club
This
is a
club is a
complete-
joke.
Yep.
But Brian, I want to get your opinion on a certain
One sec, Ben,
Alvaro.
1 second, brother. Let me move away from these cars. 1 second, 1 second. Go ahead, brother.
I want to get your opinion on Alvaro Morata. Obviously, we've been linked with him from a loan move from now until the end of the season. What would your opinion be on bringing him in?
Listen, mate, we need players. We need bodies. I don't think he's the answer, but Jesus Christ. Barcelona are also interested in Morata.
Yeah.
And if Aubameyang, like you just said, may be going there, then it's a pathway, isn't it? Listen, right now, I think we'd accept fucking anyone. But anyone... it's just pure panic, mate. It's the blind leading the blind. It's spinning the wheel of fortune and seeing what player's name it lands on to see who we get. And I have to say, I'm going to address it now. Ben doesn't need to apologise to me for the transfer debate. Who does need to apologise to me is every single person in the comments that doubted me.
Pretty sure I saw on Twitter you saying I did need to apologise to you, Brian.
Yeah, that's... You know, it's with you and me, it's banter. But listen, when we said that, and I had it, and we said before we came on camera, I wanted to do it, and you were like, no, listen, 20 days, like you said, 15, 20 days, I'll start panicking. I was just there 20 days earlier than you. And here we go. And all these rumours that are coming out are just nonsense.
And now we are on
Absolute
exactly the
nonsense.
same page, Brian, once again.
Once again, listen, mate, I open the book. I read faster than you.
Yeah.
You catch up a few days later and you've got there. It's just ridiculous. It's like Simeon said as well with the parody. We've also got a chairman that when someone wants to buy our players, they're like, oh my God, please don't make me deal with him. And it's the same when we go to buy players. It's like, oh, here we go. And we're running out of time. And listen, Paddy Power don't suspend betting on things unless they've got whispers or sniffles or things coming through, mate. There is no smoke without fire when it comes to anything related to what Parasite controls. And I'm genuinely concerned now. Genuinely concerned that on deadline day this could happen.
Well, I guess, I mean, it's just, there's not even any rumours about it, so it's just hearsay for now. But where do we go from here for the rest of the transfer window? I mean, just panic.
So, well, mate, the club will panic. The sources will panic. The other the people that still try to defend this guy and say, I went to Liverpool because it's a bigger team. He does this because they got more money. Mate, we just put bids in. So we're used now. We put bids in. It alerts the big boys that want to pay the money. And they're like, oh, shit, we best get a wriggle on. Tottenham are making fake shit. And we'll pay the money and get the deal done. So everyone else who's on the fence or still thinks, don't worry, we're a great club. Look where we've gone. Look what we're doing. Woohoo! We've got this lovely stadium. You carry on sitting on the fence. If this is what you want from your club, then crack on and enjoy it. But more and more people now are finding this totally and utterly unacceptable. More and more people are starting to feel the way I have done and the boys that I'm with. And hope.
Oh, I think we might have lost him here.
Is he still there?
No, I think we've lost him. Brian, your connection's not that great, but maybe if you try reconnect, we can get you back on. But let's go to Coach Stell.
You can still hear in the background.
Stell, how we doing, mate?
I can hear Brian talking.
Yeah, I can hear. So yeah,
Yo,
so can I.
gonna-
One sec, Stel. I can hear in the background. Well, so I can hear something in the background.
He's gone now.
Yeah, he's gone.
I can still hear it. What can I hear it then? Oh, okay. We'll listen to it.
How you doing today, Stell?
Do you know, I've got to get this off my chest because something really funny happened. I was listening to Brian talk and I was reading on my phone and I saw the club saying to dare is to do. And I don't know why, but it popped into my head. Today is to do Danny Kiriakou. Do. So I just wanted to get it off my chest.
Give me something to laugh about.
At least you're smiling today, Stel.
Imagine we go to Spurs. On the side of the stadium says, today is to do Danny Kiriakou. That'd be amazing.
Brilliant. Look,
Anyway.
Stel, another one bites the dust when Luis Diaz. He's not coming to Tottenham. It's another failed move this window. Another second transfer deal in a row. We've been gazumped, and now 3 days left in the window. Nothing imminent. Outgoings even look unlikely at this point. I mean, what is your state of mind at the moment? Is happiness taking you over?
I'm laughing. I'm joking because I have no expectations, guys. We're not signing any players. I keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. The only way we sign any player is because it'll be a panic buy, a player that's not good enough, a player that won't have any impact or that will help us. Maybe we get the Fiorentina guy, Soy Fanadababat, whatever his name is. Maybe we sign Morata, one of the most underperforming strikers in European history over the last 5 years. You know, bring him in just because we want numbers, just because we want a body. You know, you got Mr. Samosa telling us that he doesn't want players at the club unless they want to be here. So we're going to let players that want to be here come, but they're not good enough. It's a lose-lose situation. Any player we bring in now, guys, is not going to meet any requirements of Conte, the fans, or what we need to get top four. That's my honest view. So don't have any expectations, and let's just focus on the protest on Monday, which for me is probably the most important part of this whole transfer window now. Making enough noise and enough of a sign in front of Sky Sports TV cameras and sending a message and continuing to send that message, because it's another window. The same story, guys. Watching you guys do your show every day, it's like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, you know?
Honestly, you can probably just take the same video we've done like every other window and just replay it this time. No need to do it live. Let me read. I want to read this tweet here from Paul O'Keefe. I want to get your reaction to it. It's not about any rumours or anything, but this is just his take on the window. He says, Paratici in the 7 months has been in the job 7 months, and his only job is to recruit and turn players over. Months to research the market and line up deals ready to fire. Now 28 days and having had 6 months to prepare, it looks like a blind man throwing darts. Not a good look for anyone at Tottenham. This follows the club having to sack a manager he pushed for after 3 months, and after their search has descended into a farce. The idea of a director of football is to bring a clear strategy to the recruitment process. So far, there's much to be desired. They need something to land, and quick. And then he also said, ultimately, Levy should and will shoulder the responsibility, but I'm not sure how it's managed to get worse than before. It's quite an achievement. What do you think of those comments?
I think Paul O'Keefe should resign and stop being a journalist, because he's just basically put the blame on Paratici, and then he said that the blame will end up being on Daniel Levy, who hired Paratici.
Yeah.
Who gave Paratici the role of football director, and what limitations is he working under? Because if you look at Paratici, when has he ever left transfer business to the last minute in any other job role he's had? But he comes to Tottenham and everything's last minute. Does this sound like Paratici doing what he normally does at other clubs? Or does this sound like what Daniel Levy's been doing for the past God knows how many years at Spurs? This is all on Daniel Levy. He hired Paratici. We're still leaving things to the last minute. So I think Paul O'Keefe needs to maybe rethink what he's just said there. I disagree with it completely.
And Stel, when you look at it from the outset, you know, whether it's Damien Comoli, whether it's Frank Arneson, whether it's Paul Mitchell, whether it's Fabio Paratici, it's the same bullshit every time, isn't it?
I think I said it on one of the shows a couple of days ago, maybe last week. I was saying to you guys how we chop and change manager, we chop and change manager, we chop and change players, we in, out, shake it all about. There's no stability, there's no structure. The way this club, the only chance this club has got of being successful is to decide what it wants. What Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, what do you really, really want? Is it to win the Premier League? Is it to win an FA Cup? Is it just about top four? What do you want? Because when you know what you want,
that's what they want.
Yeah, skywalk, bungee jumping, Danny Kiriakou, do naming rights to the stadium,
golf pitch, golf courses all over London. You know what I mean? It's just like that's what they want, a property portfolio.
And this is maybe why we're in the situation we're in. Because if you know what you want, you can then engineer a plan to say, right, if we want to win the Premier League, we need to build a team that can win the Premier League. And we need a manager that's going to help us build that team. We're going to need a top scout to bring in the players we need. What kind of budget do we need? How many number of young players can we realistically put in a team that can win a league title? What caliber of player do we need? Let's look at the opposition we're up against: Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Right, we need to at least match them, and then you begin to put a plan together. But you can't tell me hiring Mourinho.
Oh, Stel's.
Oh, he just went. I will try and get him back on.
He was just onto something there, Stel. He was onto something.
Yeah, I wanted to hear what he's going to say. Let's read through some super chats first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to bring on another one.
In the meantime, let's go to some super chats where it's Skill VBV saying, where do we go from here? What do we need? What's possible? How do you guys feel?
Oh, we've literally been live 3 hours a day telling you how we feel, and it's not good. Don't feel good.
All right, Stel's back. Let's bring him back on. Sorry, Stel, not sure what happened there.
I don't know. What happened.
Levy cutting you off.
Well, he's done his best to shut down Brian, so I'm next in line, I guess. And then whoever else pipes up, it'll probably be your show that will be struck off next. So don't worry.
Yeah.
One by one, he's getting to us.
Yeah, one by one. But what were you saying? You got cut off mid-sentence there.
So I was saying, if you know what you want, you can then put a plan together with all the variables and the components to then achieve that plan. But you can't tell me hiring, firing managers, nilly-willy signings of players. There's a plan. There's an actual thought process that's gone into it. If you look at the stadium, he had a long-term plan to increase the revenue of the business, to increase the capacity of the stadium, to make it a multi-purpose club, NFL, concerts. That was his plan. Right, that's what I want to achieve. What do I need? Well, I need a really good architect. I need some designers. I need some people to go and research other stadiums. I need lots of builders and electricians and plumbers. And I need finance. And then he put it all together, and then he delivered, he worked according to the plan, and then he delivered the outcome. So they know how to get results when they know what they want. The reality is they don't want to win trophies. They do not want success for the team because they could have done it by now. They've had plenty of time. And what we're seeing now is yet again, owners that lack a plan, and they don't have a plan because what do they want?
But still,
what we're doing now, where's it leading us? Where's the end goal for these people?
You say they don't want success on the pitch, they don't want trophies, but how does that even benefit them? How does that make sense? Because if you bring in trophies, if you bring in constant Champions League football, if you're fighting at the top of the league and stuff like that, then more revenue is going to come through.
Yeah, exactly. Because the more trophies you win, the bigger your fan base grows. And Chelsea have proven sustainable success has tripled, quadrupled their fan base. They've got a huge global fan base now. Why? Because they're successful, and fans want to support successful teams who don't have an affinity to a local club. They live abroad, but they like the Premier League and they want to pick a club. Most of them will pick a successful team.
Yeah,
they're not going to pick Spurs and Arsenal. I mean, they're beginning to lose fans because they're not that club that they once were. So it does have an impact, and I agree with you. But the problem is, Ben,
Well, you got it right this time, Stel. You got it right this time.
Did you notice how I had to slow it down?
Yeah, I know. I noticed. I noticed.
Ben.
That's the one, Stel. That's the one.
So, yeah, like, you know, the situation we're in now, guys, is to get that first successful period of winning a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup, and then maybe going on to Europa Cup, and then possibly a Premier League, and then trying to sustain regular success over a long period of time like Chelsea have done. To get that ball rolling, you need a big cash injection at the start, and you need to invest it wisely. That's exactly how Man City have done it. That's how Chelsea have done it. That's how Newcastle are going to do it. To simply say, right, there's 100 million. Off you go. It's not going to work. Liverpool, it took them 5 years. They invested slowly over 5 years. So remember yesterday I was talking about doing it the Poch way, the Ajax way, you know? Well, this is why I say Conte's the wrong manager for Spurs, because that's the only way I see these owners doing it. That's the only way I see us doing what we want in terms of achieving success. By bringing in Conte, you're saying we're going to do it the Chelsea way. That's not going to happen with them. They're not going to put that cash injection in. And we're seeing it now. Trial rate is £20 million. We bid 15 million, and then we wonder how Barcelona have come in and got him. Diaz is 60 million. We bid 45. Liverpool panic because they've been eyeing him up for 6 months. They come in, 45 million plus £20 million add-ons. They get the player. If you pay the money, you get the man. And the reason we're upset now is because we left it late. So there's no time to go to a plan B or a plan C. Yeah. And this is a club that doesn't have a clue what it wants. Because if you know what you want, you get it. They've proven it with the stadium. They wanted that. They made it happen. Look at the thing. It's unbelievable, the stadium. So they clearly know how to get results when they know what they want to achieve. But when it comes to the football team, they don't know what they want, man. They like the idea of being successful. They like the idea of winning a trophy, but they're not prepared to put a plan together and to fulfill it to the end. They're not.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely spot on. Paddy Power have suspended betting on Antonio Conte being the next manager to leave. Do you read anything into that?
I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Oh, do you know what? I don't think he's going to leave right now because it doesn't make sense. But I do feel, I said it to you yesterday and I stick by it. I don't think he'll be our manager next season, guys. I think come the summer, it's going to boil up again. We're not going to have signings lined up ready to go. We won't have the promises that may have been given fulfilled because we won't have top four and we won't have the Champions League money because we haven't bought the players now to really get us top four. So something has to give somewhere. We can't finish 8th and spend 250 million in the summer and get 5 or 6 top players for Conte. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. We can't even buy Traore. You know, how are we gonna buy Kessies and McKennies and a top striker? How are we gonna buy Lamperty for 50 million? Like, let's say in the summer, Man United decide actually we need a right back. We'll go buy Lamperty. He's not going to come to us. So I don't see how Conte stays next year. This window was a statement of intent from the board to say, Conte, we got your back. Spurs fans, we mean business now. To all the other clubs, you better fear us because we've got the best manager and we're prepared to back him. We have made 0 statement of intent. In fact, I'm being bantered by West Ham fans on WhatsApp. West Ham fans are bantering me. My mate from uni, he's an Everton fan. He's bantering me. It's insane. And that's the statement of intent that we've made. So
I think you need to tell the Everton fan he don't have a leg to stand on with Mashiri at his club.
Yeah, listen, it's easier to banter him back. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, I look at Aston Villa and I think, you know what? They've got a plan. They've got a chairman that comes out and speaks to the fans once in a while. Does, you know, really kind of I would say, sincere, genuine talks through social media with the fan base. I see them looking to bring in a few pieces for their manager to try and push on for the rest of the season. And I know a lot of people are saying January's a difficult window, and what other club has brought in players. I don't care what the other clubs do. I couldn't care less. We are a squad in need. We are in need of players now, just so we can forget top four, just to maintain what we're doing, and we haven't done it. And I look at Aston Villa making signings, Newcastle making signings. I look at Arsenal signed a goalkeeper. Now they've got a replacement for Leno in case Ramsdale gets injured, and he's a good goalie as well. The one they've signed. So
don't worry, Stel. We've signed a replacement, or we're signing a replacement for Dylan Markande. Don't worry about that. We're bringing in signings. They're coming.
I think I'm going to shoot myself. I mean, it's so frustrating for a lot of Spurs fans, and it's very difficult because we all know what we want, and we can all see what we want, and we've got a manager that's actually preaching the same language as us. He's saying the same things as us. His squad isn't at the level. I need more players. It's going to take 2 or 3 years. He's been very. I think Conte is arguably one of the most honest managers to the media that we've had in a very, very long time. He genuinely says it how it is, and he's not digging anyone out, and he's not throwing his toys out the pram. He's being very genuine with everyone. And when you have someone like that, you really got to look after them. You really got to give them what they need to be successful, because you've got a gem. You've actually got a prized asset. And we're just mucking it up. We're making an absolute mess of it again. And look, guys, I just really, really hope on Monday that we get mass numbers to the protest. And I've got a sneaky feeling this protest might actually be the one that we've been waiting for. I actually think this protest will be the one, because I'm seeing a lot of people on the internet saying enough is enough. There's a lot of people making videos and talking about the problem who would never speak in front of a camera before. And when you listen to even the media talking, even people in the media are getting fed up. So I actually think we could have a genuine protest on Monday. I really do.
Hope so, Stel.
Hope you're right, Stel.
Hope so, Stel. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Stel, thanks as always for coming on, and we'll see you soon. Everyone go and subscribe to Tottenham Away. Great content over there. See you soon, Stel.
Today is to do. Danny
Kiriakou.
Nice one, Stel.
See you later.
Good to see you, mate. A bunch of super chats to get through.
Go on.
Carmelo Borg, DJ Mello says, if Conte quits, what will the fans do? Sad state is nothing ever happens with our fan base. People power is required. Time for action now. Yep. Absolutely right. But it's going to be annoying because we'll have all this action, and then we have to wait 6 months for anything to be done done for it. Bob Spur,
come on, Bob.
Big up, Bob.
Come on, Bob.
He sent his super chat. Big up, Bob Spur. He says, I told people to calm it with the whole Don title by the fans earlier. He can be as good as he wants. Levy still signs the checks. Big love to all.
Yeah. And that's spot on.
Yeah, he's absolutely spot on. TK says today is to do, but we don't. We are a laughing stock. Love the content. Watch every day. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Big up to you, TK. Jory says, yeah, Paul. It's Paratici, Conte, Mourinho, Poch, and Paul Mitchell. That is response to a Paul O'Keefe thing I read out earlier. Yeah. It was interesting to go over that argument. DJBP says, seriously, these owners make me sick. The club is too big for them to manage. Enoch, just do us a favour, sell up and don't come back. Sunila32 says, Poch's words after the final game of the season in 2018 ring true. We can't think we are so clever that we can win trophies by only spending small money. I remember that quote very well. He says, we need to be brave. If we don't, every season will be worse and more difficult.
And that is never more true.
And it's,
literally
exactly.
never more true, because since that season, we've just regressed. year on year.
Yeah, Poch saw it.
Poch was spot on all the time.
Jory says Poch, Mourinho, and now Conte have revealed to all but the clinically insane ENIC in fans that the core and physical manifestation of Spursy is Levy.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Spot on. It's spot on again. All these super chats are absolutely spot on. I can't agree more. Really,
and
I can't really add to them.
Ghost XM3 says we should get the best championship players.
Yeah, we did that with Ollie Skip.
Exactly, it worked out right.
Worked well, yeah. To be fair,
wouldn't mind that.
All right, I think that's the super chats. Let's go and bring on George. How's it going, George, today?
Hey, gents, not too bad. How you both?
Afternoon, George. Yeah.
Trying to going through the motions, trying to get through it. Obviously, everyone knows about the situation with Luis Diaz now on his way to Liverpool. What does it represent for you? Are you angry about the Luis Diaz situation, or are you angry at Luis Diaz, or are you angry at just the whole situation, how it's planned out? I mean, how are you feeling right now?
I think you can only just be angry with Levy and ENIC. I mean, and I'm not saying that as I'm trying to be as objective as possible. And the reality is that considering all the history, we are where we are because of that history. So Diaz doesn't want to come to Tottenham. He wants to go to Liverpool because Liverpool have been successful. They're a polished outfit. They invest in their club, and it's evident for everybody to see. So you can't blame him as a player to want to go to Liverpool if Liverpool come in and say, we want you. That's the reality. If we wanted Diaz, why wasn't this done far sooner? Why didn't we stump up the money straight away that Porto were asking for? Why did we not why did we not look as though we wanted that player? Because as soon as you try and go in for all this lowballing, ridiculous way of trying to entice a player, what you're actually saying to the player is, well, look, you're not bad, we don't mind you, but actually we just don't think you're quite worth that value. I mean, it's really a naive way of trying to do football business. And again, it just boils down to the incompetence of our board, the lack of understanding of what's required in order to be a successful club, and just acting like a big club. We don't do it, so we are not it. So it all depends on where you want to pitch yourself. And Levy and this board don't want to pitch us at that level. They are more interested in their property deals. And unfortunately, that's the sad reflection of what we're seeing now. And let's face it, how long is Conte going to be interested? When he sees what we're showing him, you know what this is. I was thinking about this analogy, right? This is like me, right, taking my son who wants a toy at Christmas, and he's told me what he wants, okay, but it's really expensive. So what I do is I take my son, right, to all the local supermarkets and try and entice him with the cheaper alternative. At which point he says, no, don't want it, don't want it, don't want it. Then I say to myself, right, I'm not going to get away with this. So I end up going to the expensive store to try and get him the toy. But guess what? They've all been sold out. Yeah. So he has to go without. And then you end up with that feeling with the kid being totally dissatisfied in what you've done and everything else. So it really leaves a bad taste, and it's going to get toxic. I really hope that this demonstration is successful, and hopefully I can get there. I'm all for it, and it is only Levy, it is only ENIC that can be held responsible.
Yeah, I mean, you do say it's only Levy and only ENIC, but we've heard some complaints about Paratici from Paul O'Keefe on Twitter, saying, he is at fault for this window and potentially the last window as well. Do you buy into that at all?
No, who employed him?
Yeah, spot on.
Who employed him? I mean, look, you could go into, if they want to raise analogies of how you run a business and how you run a club. If this was being run as a proper business, that board would have been out years ago. because you measure the success of a football club by the trophies in the trophy cabinet, and especially if you're a club like Tottenham Hotspur, with the history that Tottenham Hotspur has, it's shameful to turn around and say we have not had a trophy in that cabinet for 20 years. Yeah. I mean, you know, let's. I mean, the sad fact is, I don't know, the first time we actually met, and we did meet once, we met at the inauguration of opening up the South Stand. I don't know if you recall that. I definitely met Sim and Grandad there. I'm not sure if you were there, Ben.
Ben was there. I think he might have been off doing his own thing at the time.
I was there, yeah. I was just around the place. I don't know where I was, but yeah.
So I went. I was there with. I took my both my kids with me, and you know they were so obviously enamoured by the whole position, as we were all. You know, it was this glittering ball of wonderfulness that was going to bring us that was going to bring us success. And I now look back on that, and I look at my kids and see what we've actually got. My daughter's totally sort of pretty much disenfranchised with, you know, she was a regular coming to Tottenham. She doesn't really want to come anymore. And my son.
Why is that? Why doesn't she want to come anymore? Is there any particular reasons?
Well, she's 15 years old, so she knows about our lack of success. And you know, today's day and age, whatever you say, kids want that instant success. So if you when she was going, it was we were going to Wembley sort of every other week. We were beating Everton sort of 4-0, 4-1, or Liverpool 4-1. We were beating Man United. We were playing attractive football, so that you're enticing your fan base. You're bringing in a fan base, and she was really enjoying it. We come forward now into the new stadium, and what we're producing on the pitch is just not acceptable. Whatever you say, we have lacked quality on that pitch for a very, very long time. Poch said it, and I'm not I'm not saying Poch was the answer, but the way that it was conducted was without any planning and without any real thought process as to the way that we're going to take this next step. And again, that's entirely in the hands of ENIC and Levy. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. So you raised the point about Paratici. Well, who employed him? Where's the plan? Where's the game plan in all of this? What's our end goal? Well, if your end goal is to have a lovely shiny stadium, which you're going to do skywalks and concerts and boxing events and everything else, that's fine. But through their own admission, ENIC and Levy have said we've lost focus of what's been going on in the football, in respect to the football and the pitch, and. You know, they're not giving us any sort of mind-blowing news here. I mean, we've been in tune with all of that for a while. So I think where I'm trying to head is this. My son, he comes with me to Tottenham. He comes to the games. But at the end of the day, when he comes back home and he watches YouTube, he's watching Liverpool. He's watching Neymar. He's watching PSG. You know, today's day and age, you are not like I was when I was growing up, just in tune with what Tottenham were doing in that sort of isolation bubble. You know, this is instant. You can flick your TV channels, you can watch the Italian league and relate to the Italian league games, or to the Spanish league, or everything else. So supporters watching Tottenham from outside of the UK, you're losing a raft of supporters week in, week out. And if they can't see that, you know, Sonny's not going to be around for much longer. He's going to be maybe a couple of years, and then we're going to lose all those North Korean supporters who are coming and buying merchandise at the store. And there's no one else really, unless they go out and buy and actually take that step to say, look, we've got to shell out a bit of money here. Who are you going to replace that income with? And this is where I go down to that this board, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't understand the football market. And if they do, then they're totally, I don't know what you call them, stupid, ignorant. I don't know how far do you want to go with it. So look, it's not great. It's not a great look for Spurs. It's not. It's not encouraging. And like I say, I just worry for the next generation of supporters. I mean, like I said, I saw some of the success in the 80s with FA Cups and European Cups and great football. It's just not. I can't see it now. I just cannot see it.
Yeah, especially how we're again conducting ourselves in the transfer window. I mean, it seems like it's again the fact that, as we've said before, it's not so much that we've missed out on Diaz, which is disappointing, even though it is. It's the fact that we're day 28. We're day 28, and we've missed out on a big target. And we have left ourselves again scrambling around the last few days of the window, and we don't know how we're going to achieve what we need to in this window. It's like we've come into this window of no plan, and Conte has been consistently calling for improvement in the squad and for signings on the pitch, and we are very much looking at a reality where we could bring in no one at this point, or no one who could really improve the team, or anyone of any substance, and that is the biggest disappointment. And going into that, there's I think Paddy Power have stopped taking bets on Conte to be the next manager to next manager to leave their club. Do you think there's a real danger of that happening with the way this window has gone?
I'm not sure if he'll walk, because he's got contractual arrangements and he's probably tied in. I think the way it's looking at the moment is that Conte coming to Tottenham was probably Paratici trying to get really a very expensive consultant by the looks of it for 18 months to give an account of what the situation is at the playing level. I don't know why we've paid all that money. I mean, they could have paid us sort of, half that amount. We would have been happy. We could have told them exactly the same thing. I mean, it is pretty laughable. And these are decisions which are being made by Levy. These are decisions that are being made by the board that are the denominator here falls on them. This cannot be excused any longer. And it's something that I've had this debate along the line. I wouldn't say it's an argument. I can see why people would like to try and excuse what's happened, because we do have this shiny new stadium, and it's something that we were all proud of. I think really, I mean, I would by far prefer to have been in the old White Hart Lane watching in a 36,000 seat stadium and seeing great football and winning, 2-3 trophies, and just be happy like that. But we've been sold a dream, and people are trying to cling on to that dream for as long as possible. I was really, really disappointed, by Alistair Gold's comments, and I hope he's watching this now, because I think it was his report before the one before last, when he did his update, and he came out and he was saying how he felt that Conte's demeanour and language was defeatist. And I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute. So the guy's come out, he's being honest, that we are up against the European champions in Chelsea. We're up against world-class quality players, because Chelsea have invested in that. So we shouldn't be that surprised, really, when we lose to them. And that's all that he was saying. But Alistair would have preferred to report on that and be negative about the manager's views, instead of what's been happening the last 20 years with Levy and everything else. So this reporting, the demonstration is necessary just to show the way we feel, and the correct reporting can be undertaken, because at the moment, I think that, that there are so many tangents that a lot of these reporters are going under, and whether they're scared that they're not going to have the access to the club and their reporting facilities if they say something against the club, I'm not too sure. But I certainly get the impression that the way it's being reported is being very, very easy on Levy and very, very easy on the club.
Yeah,
Absolutely spot on, George. Absolutely spot on. Great call as always. And I guess we'll speak to you. We'll speak to you very soon. But hopefully we can speak after better news. But I'm not holding my breath.
Fingers crossed for the next 3 days. Come on, you Spurs.
And potentially see you Monday as well. But come on, you Spurs.
Yeah.
So that was George. Another great call from George, always spitting the facts there. And another man that always spits the facts is Aravind. And let's bring him on. Aravind, don't look like a happy bunny today.
I'm not happy, but I'm just laughing at the state of this club right now, which is being run. Oh my goodness.
Sum up your feelings for me, Aravind.
28 days. How do you not go with a plan in this football club? And I knew this thing was coming. This thing was coming before, because when Antonio, I don't know what. Look, the thing is that if Antonio Conte has demanded some players, and we're not getting him, obviously he's going to be pissed. So I don't know what's happened in the background. I'm pretty sure he would have asked for at least 1 or 2 quality players to come over here, and you're not paying the money for what it needs to be. It's bloody 20 million. We can pay 14 million for Joe Rodon, but you're telling me you can't pay 20 million for Adama Traore, because I was really excited for Adama Traore to come in to Spurs. I thought he would bring in a lot of quality into a squad with someone we never had after Moussa Dembele, who used to be very physical in the midfield, but at least we have someone physical to battle out in the right wing back, and it gives options for Kane, Son to attack more. That's what used to happen before. And you're not paying. You have Barcelona, who's in debt, who's paying 35 million. It's not excusable. Or do some, or at least, or you want to spend on one player, quality player, 75 million, go and buy either Luis Diaz or someone. We don't even do that. So what is the agenda? I don't get the agenda of what planning is happening, because there's 155% that there's no planning happening. What does he do any work in the club? Does he sit down? Does he think about it? That no chance. What is Paratici doing in this phone call? And they keep on, Fabrizio Romano keeps on saying we are busy. What are we busy? Doesn't look like we're busy on anything. We're not doing anything. What are we busy right now? We can't get players out of door. At least we should be doing that at the start of the window. Dele Alli, Ndombele, Lo Celso. So you're speaking that players. So you need to we need to be getting out of the door. Okay, if you believe in there's no harm in following any kind of method of doing your business in football until you get it correct. That's the thing. So if you want to do the sell and buy a system which people hated, but you can bring success, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we want to see trophies, want to see how the team improves. So if you want to do that, you need to get this place out at the start of the window. You can't be what can we do in the end of the 3 days left, and none of the players have been linked to any rumors, and unless anything is happening inside the club without knowing us. There's no planning. There's nothing which is happening over here, and I don't see Daniel Levy for himself to be attainable as a chairman for no longer to be holding this position. And it's come to a time where fans, media, everyone is realizing that the twilight days of Enoch and Levy is coming to an end. It's 21 years, and as a club generally, we would want a change in it. 21 years, there's no success, and as much as we haven't won a title before, Spurs used to be a team which you can look. I've not seen, but I've looked where we used to win frequent trophies, at least FA Cups, League Cups. We used to win something before Levy was in charge, and that's gone out of the window because of bad recruitment, bad scouting, lack of interest in footballing ideas, because either he doesn't know or he's very excited to get into it. He doesn't want to give control to anybody. So it's wrong. He's given a huge chances. I hope so. The only hope for us is 31st of January, people turn up for protest, and I just want to see on the I can support my views on the social media channels, but it's come to an end. I feel that it's the twilight days are coming to an end for them. For them, they need to give up. They value this business as 3 billion, but they don't act upon it. And hopefully, I see some new suitors coming in, because if they keep on going to follow this method, fans are going to lose interest supporting Spurs. No one is going to go ahead with it, and I see top players not joining us, and I see top players from our club now going to leave. I'm pretty sure if Antonio Conte leaves, Harry Kane is leaving. As much as Son has signed a contract, he'll look at the state of the club, and he would also like think about leaving this club. So huge dangers is going to come. I thought this was the transfer window would change everything, but doesn't look good.
It's just
No.
the same shit all over again, isn't it, Aravind? Go on, Sim.
It's
Yeah.
this
No, go
same
on. Go on,
thing.
Aaron.
It's the same thing. There's no change. There's no change. At least we had a core squad in 2015-16, which is changing, and we saw something from that I thought was rising, and that's what made me interested to support Spurs. Where I was seeing something, a young team fighting hunger, Pochettino believing in this team. So I thought the board will back him, even if the stadium is going to come, and it's gone down. There's nothing. There's nothing. Either we have a good, even though as much as Barca is feeling they have a good academy of players, we can't even produce that, because we don't have any plan. We don't have a footballing identity or philosophy where, okay, this is Spurs and this is how we do with business, or this is how it's done. Even though we have small failures for few years, we can recoup with it, because we don't have a plan. We keep on hiring managers of different sorts. We keep on bringing players of different sorts. We keep on. How you tell me it? What is one player, you guys, where you was other than Son, which has come and changed the squad? None of them. None of them. Why? Because there is no planning of why we recruit that players. Why are they coming in? We're bringing Ndombele. Why we're bringing Ndombele? For which manager? What's he suited for? We're bringing Lo Celso. He performs well for Argentina. Why doesn't he not perform for us? Why is there no interest into it? Until now, we're not seeing Romero. But as much as I want Romero to succeed in the club, if there's no clear plan, he's also going to fail, because there's no plan in the squad, which is what needs to be done, what needs to be suited. We keep on blaming players of the players of the players of the players, and people saying he's not good, he's not good, he's not good. Okay, but how many players? How can we keep on saying each and every player is not good in the squad? There needs to be some kind of uh, planning which needs to be done, from recruitment to footballing identity to footballing philosophy. Nothing. There's nothing.
Aravind, the way the transfer window has gone so far, with us acting very late and then the players we have acted upon have been rejecting us, do you hold Paratici responsible for how some of the planning and how some of the deals have been done, or do you think he has any responsibility for that?
No, I don't agree on this fact, because when he was in Juventus, he was attracting top players, and over here he's also trying his best to attract top players. We put a bet on Kessie. It was rejected because he wants a better club. As much as we have gone late for what's his name?
Diaz.
The recent
Diaz.
player.
Diaz.
Diaz. We matched the offer, but it was rejected. He went to Liverpool. We wanted Weston McKennie, which that there are some players which he has really targeted. But the thing is that either Daniel Levy is not giving the right funding, or the player is rejecting us. So you can't blame the Paratici for it. Look at the summer. He as much as he can say, he's gotten Romero. He's tried to, okay, as much as Emerson Royale is not been the talent, but he tried to swoop that in the last minute. So he's trying his best to get in top talents from top leagues, top players. So he is doing his best, and I can't deny the fact it's all on Levy. It's Daniel Levy who needs to be blamed right now. There's no chance Paratici needs to be blamed, because he's trying his best to get top players, but end of the day, the person who's taking the control, the finances, is needs to give some kind of assurances, some kind of planning, and it's not acceptable to keep on blaming the third person. Well, why does no one blame Daniel Levy? Daniel Levy is the right person. He hires him, he gives him all the assurances, and he does it. And the only as I said last time, he keeps on lying. When you keep on lying, you can't achieve anything in this club.
And yeah, I think you're probably right about that, Aravind. I mean, Fabio is trying to get some deals over the line, but it seems to be a pattern, isn't it, with his ownership always doing the thing the same way.
Conte and Paratici was in Juventus before. They were in the low before they came. They bought the club up. Why? So why if someone why is that? Everyone forget the players. Why does players, managers, and sporting directors keep on feeling only in Spurs? Why not if that trend needs to fall in other clubs also? So if Antonio Conte and Paratici has bought that low club to this much to a high, to what it is right now, so that shows that they have the capability of bringing the top clubs. But that was backed with a good board, a person who believed in him, a person who backed him in the transfers, and a person who at least put 15 to 20% at least. You need to trust some person. Daniel Levy needs to trust someone. Give 60 to 70% backing to these people. See how it goes. You can't keep on bringing your own perspectives, your own thing, because you think you are the best. You think your decisions are the best, which is not brought us to any levels. So you can't keep on blaming. Okay, you're going to bring on someone else that they're also going to fail. You're going to bring on another sporting director. They're also good. So that doesn't come to Paratici. They have bought in a club before. They've bought in a club before from a low to a high, which is of a same level, not in terms of what success right now, but there's the same level of the brand value of Spurs is right now. She's bought the same level, so you can't blame them. You need to trust someone. You need to trust them. You need to go away from the footballing side. You need to give a certain kind of transfer critique, and you need to leave it to them. And that's how I thought it would be. But no, there's a lot of. It looks like Daniel Levy wants to interrupt in this. He's not backing anything. He's not backing anything. There's no planning. That totally shows when Antonio Conte was discussing in the second, was taking too much time for the what transfers needs to be done. That already is a trend of how our planning was to this January transfer window, and that already took 10% of my trust of that we're not going to do much in this transfer window.
All right, Aravind, great call as
Nice
always.
one, Aravind.
Great points made, and we shall speak to you soon.
Hopefully, I'm just finger crossed as a Spurs fan. Some kind of something miracle happens, but no hopes.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. We'll speak to you soon.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on. Super chat here from Bob Spur again. Big up, Bob. He says, we need a solid VIP. VIP is a vision, identity, plan. Right now we have zilch. In fact, some would argue the last time we looked to have direction was with Poch.
Definitely, but the whole point is we actually put ourselves in a very good position with Poch. As we said, we were challenging, we were consistent, we had a very good, we were in a very good position, we were in a position of strength, but we let it fall by the wayside. We let it go stale, and now we're in the position we are now. And we thought that we could kind of try and get more out of a squad that had already gone stale. We thought by changing the manager we could reinvigorate it, but what's happened is we've gotten even worse, and we've gotten worse. We've been moving further and further backwards, and now we're in this stage where either we do another Poch and we take getting different match, because I don't think it's going to work under Conte, where in terms of this kind of spending very little money and all this kind of stuff. Either we get a manager like Pochettino or something like that, where we build another process, spend little money, but it takes 3 to 4 years to really build another team, and then get to another position of strength and we need to build upon again. Or we spend a whole load of money, which we need to do right now if we want this manager to be a success. Yeah. And at the moment, we're going to do neither.
Dharav Singh with the super chat. No comment there, but just the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Mick Rokosmos says, Son is from South Korea, George. We lose South Korean fans after this guy. I Hate Arsenal says everyone needs to stop going to the stadium and send a clear message to the board. Darav Singh with a super chat again says, I want to join your team. Guy Dunn says, we all moan when Levy doesn't do things, but we do congratulate him. But do we congratulate him when he does good things like Conte?
I said fair play. I mean, first of all, let's be honest. It was his own failings that led to it. But yeah, I mean, I said fair play. He got in Conte. I said what have we been saying all window and before the window about the ownership? And so I was like, look, we're still skeptical. We're not going to say, Enoch in, and we love Enoch now, but he's gotten Fabio, he's gotten Conte. I'm going to wait and see where this is going. I'm not going to start complaining and start saying Enoch out and Levy out when they're doing moves in the right direction. I'm not going to, that's not logical to me. If you're complaining about something and they start making moves in the right direction, then you go, okay, all right. They're doing things. We'll see what happens. But this is what's happening. The same shit. Nothing's changing. They haven't learned their lesson. So we're going to start complaining again. What do you expect us to do? Just say, everything's fine, hunky-dory, when Conte's literally begging for better quality in press conferences and in interviews where it's pretty clear for the world to see this squad needs an injection of quality. And we're now day 28 and we're in very real danger of nothing happening. Yeah, and that is simply not good enough.
And a lot of people point to the fact, it's so hard to bring in players in January. January's not a month where you do business and blah, blah, blah. But it's bollocks, man. If you need signings as much as we need signings, you bring players in. Villa have done it. Newcastle have done it. Man City have just brought in a striker, Barcelona are making moves right now. You have teams that can do business in January. So why can't we do it? Why can't we?
Exactly. There's no reason why we can't. Just our own ineptitude.
Sonilla32 with the super chat saying, question, would Daniel Levy sack someone who worked for him if that person had a similar track record in failing in their job? That's spot on as well. If someone had half the failings or a quarter of the failings that Daniel Levy had, they'll be out the door straight away.
Correct. Yeah, he wouldn't. Exactly. No, he wouldn't put up with it. But he expects us to.
And TJ says with the super chat saying, Diaz simply preferred Liverpool. The fee is largely irrelevant. Have Spurs lowballed in the past? Hell yeah. Is that the issue with Diaz? No, fix up. Yeah, it might not be. I mean, first of all, we did lowball because we went in with a very low offer that we knew Porto weren't going to accept. So that in itself is lowballing, first of all. And second of all, the problem is not that Liverpool's gone for Diaz and Diaz has gone to Liverpool. That's not the problem here. Like we keep saying, the problem is what it represents. The representation of why wait 25 days for go to your targets in the transfer window. Why?
Exactly.
Why? It makes no sense. The only thing that can help is, you go in for someone with a low-balling offer. Everyone seems to find out what this low-balling offer. And then anyone who's targeted this player in the past can go for him and put in an offer and get him easily because they know we're failing with offers.
Exactly. And they know that we're in for him and we're in negotiations, so they can quickly step him up. If we would have quickly got an offer accepted and then got everything over the line quickly, things could have been different. But we didn't. We, again, wanted to drag out negotiations. Probably Levy's plan was to go all the way to the deadline and try and force it all the way there, but unfortunately hasn't gotten that far.
Yeah. Let's bring on Kumar. You all right, Kumar?
How are you going? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, my friend. How are you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. Yeah.
So talk to me about your feelings of the current transfer window at the moment as it stands.
Look, January. January. We came into January, yeah?
Yeah.
First of all, they're talking about Adama, yeah? Adama this, Adama that, Adama this, Adama that. Adama is imminent, Adama that, Adama this. Look, from day one of the transfer window, I never expected this club to sign any players, literally, because my expectations was very low, you know what I mean? But before that, before Paratici and Conte came in, I was in that same situation, you know what I mean? Because under Nuno, we were so bad. You know what I mean? Because under Nuno, we were so bad. And transfers even under Nuno now, if even though Conte and Paratici is not here, if we still had Nuno, still we need signings because our squad is currently not good enough. Not good enough. Like let me run through the squad here. Okay. Goalkeeper, Lloris and Golini. Okay. Lloris has signed a contract, so I don't know how long he will be here. Like it's apparently a 2-year contract. Next season we need to find a new goalkeeper because I don't think that Hugo is going to stay here for very long. Next we have Golini. I just fast run through this team very fast. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Golini, I don't think he's staying here. Okay, I don't really think that he's going to be staying here, and everyone knows that Golini is staying at the bench. He's not playing that much. Whenever he plays, he really disappoints us. You know, am I correct? Because Golini, every time whenever he plays, he literally just playing as a decent goalkeeper, not something extraordinary or something like that. Yeah, whenever he played against Chelsea, he made one big mistake.
Yeah.
He made one big mistake, and that just shows that his uncertainty of him being at the club. So, goalkeeper, even though Hugo is here, we need a goalkeeper to succeed Hugo if his contract ends. Okay, left back now we have Reguilon and Sessegnon. Both of these guys, Sessegnon we haven't seen that much yet. Yeah, I still remember that we were in the Champions League where Sessegnon scored a goal against Bayern Munich when we lost 3-1 at the Mourinho. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I was there at the game in the Allianz Arena.
In that moment, I thought this guy is going to be big for us. Now where he is, he's not even breaking through our first team. And another one, Reguilon. Reguilon has been decent, but not as good as we expected to be. Because at Sevilla, he was scoring a lot of goals, but now he only has scored 1 goal against Leeds. And at Sevilla, he was literally a fullback finisher. He can literally a fullback finisher. He can score with his right foot. He can score with his left foot. But overall at Tottenham, he hasn't performing as he was performing at Sevilla. Right back, we all know. I don't need to even say that because right back we are very weak. Doherty, he only performed against Leicester, and Emerson, we all know that he's still young. We just brought him in, and still he's a right back. He's not right wing back. He's a right back. We need to understand that he is a right back. Whenever we see him play, we don't see him getting ripped up that much. I'm correct?
Yeah, correct.
We don't see him getting ripped up that much. But his final ball, whenever he comes through the flanks and crossing the ball, he's awful, really. And the centre backs, Diaz, Romero. These are the only defenders that I only can rely on because Tanganga, Sanchez, and Rodon are the defenders. Is that enough? Then another one is Pascotti, that Estonian guy. Only Diaz, Romero. I only can rely on these 2 defenders. Like Sanchez, sometimes he comes in and sometimes he does the mistakes. He does perform good. Sometimes he does perform very bad another day. But still, I really don't think that Sanchez is going to be any consistent as Romero and Diaz because every time whenever we see him play Sanchez, he plays well sometimes and sometimes he's very clumsy, I have to say. And Diaz, similar thing. We need an upgrade. We need an upgrade as a team. We just, top 4. And top 4. Why Levy doesn't think about this? That we as a club before this, if this club hasn't gone to Europe, hasn't finished top 4, I can understand. Oh, probably this club needs a rebuild. If I was an Everton fan or I was a Villa fan, then probably I would be like, look, we are in a bad position, right? We are not in a bad position. I think we are doing decent. We can build up these things. You know what I mean? Even though we are not as good as Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, at least we are doing all right. If they are in the relegation zone, if I was a Villa fan and we are in the relegation zone, then I will be, we need to do much better. But Tottenham, we have been finishing top 4 for a very long time under Poch. We've been finishing top 4, top 4. And top 4 was our regular. I'm correct? Top 4 was our regular every time, whenever. Even before the seasons, under Poch. Firstly we done a little bit country, but top 4, top 4, top 4, top 4. And now, where's the top 4? Top 4 is just looking like a myth now. And our board, literally.
Kumar, if top 4 is a myth, and I understand what you're saying, but we're in a very good position in the league. If at the moment without any signings, do you think if we don't sign anyone, that's it for top 4? We can say goodbye to it.
Look, this team, let's not forget that this team, really, everyone are playing for Conte. Everyone are playing for Conte. If not one or two, probably, I will say Dele and Ndombele. Some of them don't even show up in the pitch. We all know that. But mostly everyone on the pitch, mostly everyone, 90% or 95% in this club, in this squad, really wants to play for Conte. Like we've seen this against Watford. We've seen this against Leicester, where we don't give up, even though we're going to draw this game, or even though we're going to lose this game. Do you guys know that against Leicester? When it was 2-1, I just switched off the TV, and I went back to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning, I was just like, what? 3-2? Look, I was very unlikely to see those.
Shows you, Kumar, never turn off a Spurs game. Never turn off a Spurs game.
Yeah, that Stephen Bergman, I was so like, what these guys? I was so surprised. I was so surprised to later. What happened here? 2-1. I thought we lost the game. I was so disappointed. Disappointed going back to sleep. Then wake up in the morning. I was just like 3-2. That just shows that this squad wants to play for Conte. As for top 4, I still think that we can make top 4 if these guys stay injury free, and also if these guys continue their passion and the desire to finish top 4. Because I won't say that these guys don't have any quality, rubbish or something like that. Because as for Doherty, we all know that this guy has been performing well in our club. But at Wolves, he was sensational at Wolves whenever he plays against Wolves. And Nuno, he was so efficient. I don't understand how that sensational guy came into Spurs and be in a position like this. He can't even pass the ball properly. He can't even, the crossings has been improved lately because under Mourinho he can't do anything. He couldn't even run. He couldn't even pass. He couldn't do anything. As for Emerson also at Real Betis, he was playing really well. He won the La Liga Defender of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. We have good players, but the reason why these guys are not showing up because we don't have a manager like Conte before at Spurs. Like under Mourinho, we all know that Mourinho is tactical coach. He makes good players better, and he makes average players like Wings, Doherty, Dyer. These players are average players, and they got worse. Am I correct?
Yeah. These
players gone worse under Mourinho. And Nuno, we all know that no one is playing under Nuno. Like that man, he speaks Portuguese in training. Like Nuno. I leave him. Let's leave his story
Kumar, just before we let you go, I want to know: do you think we are actually going to get any signings in before the end of the window?
I do. I think Sofian Amrabat. I think.
Yeah. Would you be happy with that?
Excuse me, I can't hear this.
I said, would you be happy with that?
Look, Sofia Amrabat at Verona. If it is a Verona version, then I will be gladly take that. But now he's not even getting into this Fiorentina squad. So he's a decent player, but he won't come into our team. That's it.
All right, Kumar, some really good points made. Thanks for coming on, my friend, and we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, cheers. I think this is the first time.
Good to have you, man.
Nice
Come
one,
on, you
Kumar.
Spurs. Let's go to our next guest, which is the Irish Hotspur. Big up, Dave. How we doing, brother?
Yeah, bit deflated today, to be honest with you, with this whole Diaz deal.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we were speaking last night. You were trying to do a little pre-match pump up with me on the text, trying to raise my spirits. I think it's my turn to try to do that to you today. But I mean, it's a sorry state of affairs, isn't it? It really is. And I mean, it's not that Diaz has gone to Liverpool, which is the most annoying thing. It's what it represents and what keeps happening time and time again under this ownership. No matter who comes in, whether it be Paratici, Mitchell, Kamoli, Arneson, you know what I mean? The list goes on. But it's the same shit every time, isn't it?
No, it is. Look, with the Diaz deal, you know, you drag your heels on a deal like that when you're in a position where you need to sign players and you just need to pay what the asking price. You always open yourself up to giving Liverpool a chance to come in and put a deal on the table. And once Liverpool, a team like Liverpool, come in and put a bid on the table, you're always going to lose out. You're always going to do it. I mean, what's really annoying me about this window is, and the biggest reason why we haven't signed anybody in this window is purely because of the business model, the way we operate. We need to get rid before we bring in. We hear it every single transfer window, and it's outdated. Most teams now are bringing in players, and what they do then is they isolate. They're bringing in the players, and then once they have the players in, then they look at the squad and get rid of the players that they want to get rid of. But Tottenham Hotspur don't want to do that. The reason why you're seeing the likes of Everton, the likes of Aston Villa not making signings early is because they operate under a different model. They'll fix their problems first and then look to offload players. But Tottenham don't want to do that. And that's why we're sitting here on day 28 without a signing, because we're waiting until to get rid of an Ndombele, Dele Alli, or Lo Celso. And in a time where we need players in the door, it's not the right way to be operating. The business model should be is when you're in a position where you need to sign, you sign the players, and then the next window you can say, okay, well, we can't sign anybody. We have to get rid of players first. Fans would understand that. Fans could get behind that. But in a time of need, when this squad needs help and when it needs players, you got to bring in the players. And I get like the likes of Ndombele Ollie and Lo Celso and all, they're on big wages and whatever else. But my point is if you bring in the players and then they're number 26, 27, 28 on the roster, and they know they're not going to play a part or even be registered for the rest of the season, believe me, they won't be long about finding a club and getting out of here. Believe me, you know, it's the business model is completely outdated, and that's why we're sitting here today, frustrated over signings. But not only that, though, lads, they're ignoring every born winner, every leader that comes into this club. You know, Hugo Lloris after the Zagreb game hinted at the quality of and depth of the squad. Højbjerg has done an interview. Harry Kane was thinking about leaving in the summer because he looked at the squad and knew it didn't have quality. Pochettino was calling for a rebuild. He could foresee that what was coming, that we were going to end up relying on the likes of a Dyer, a Davies, a Sanchez, a Harry Winks and stuff like that. That's why he wanted to do a rebuild, because he knew these players weren't good enough. Ignored. Jose Mourinho hinted at times about the quality of the squad. Ignored. Conte has now been hinting at the quality of the squad. Ignored. And yes, as Spurs fans, as some Spurs fans have said, we can sit here and hang on to the one interview he's done where he said where he was saying that Tottenham haven't promised them anything. But I mean, let's just play blind. Let's just play deaf to the other 99% of the interviews he's done, where he's called for quality, where he said, you know, this squad lacks quality. We cannot deny. We cannot like just deny that. At the end of the day, this squad needs investment, and it hasn't happened because of the business plan. And people can go after Paratici and everything else they want. But Ben, like you said, no matter who comes in, whether it's Hitchin, whether it's Kamoli, it doesn't matter. They're all going to suffer the same fate.
Well, Fabio did come in with a big reputation for being very well connected and being able to find targets from, targets from a lot of different places. Do you think he?
A lot of different places in Italy.
Exactly. Well, do you think he shoulders any responsibility for how this transfer window has gone, or do you think he's doing it hand tied behind his back?
Do you know what? This one's a tricky one for me because I like to call him the Don, but do you know what? Look, I criticise Steve Hitchen a lot for a lot of the signings he's brought in and stuff like that. And ultimately, he's probably a big responsibility of why we're here, because of maybe some of the signings he's brought in. They just have never hit the ground running or haven't really been deemed to be good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. But do you know what? I look back on it now. It's hard to blame Steve Hitchen. I mean, you look at Paratici coming from Juventus. He's proven he can work. He can work. He can get in the players you need. He can get in some quality players. But I mean, if you want to drag your heels on deals and you're going into a Diaz deal where you know the asking price is 60 million and you're going in at 35 million plus 10 million add-ons or whatever it was, it's that's why you don't get these players to Tottenham, and that's why you end up getting a lot of second-rate players here.
Yeah,
and for me, just to answer the question, sorry, just quickly to answer Sim's question. I mean, I don't want to hear anybody blame the manager anymore. Question the manager. I don't want to hear anyone question blame the director of football. We know exactly where to put the blame. You keep changing director of footballs, you keep changing managers, and we keep getting the same results.
Spot on. I mean, Paddy Power have suspended betting on Conte being the next manager to leave his post in the Premier League. Do you read too much into that, or is that just rumours at the moment? Do you think they know something we don't?
I mean, look, the proof is there. Look at one of the interviews he done at the start of the January transfer window, was just before, where he was basically talking the exact same way Poch did, where it was like, I'm a coach, I have to improve what's here. I manage the players that Tottenham bring in. I've told them what I want, but at the end of the day, the club are the one bringing in the signings. Jose made similar sort of sounds as well. Pochettino made them sounds. We know what's going on here. And when it comes to Conte, look, you're seeing all the media reporting on it and all of that now. It's the same as Harry Kane. All the media start reporting on Harry Kane, and look at the situation that created. I can see another one coming. I can see it. Do I think Conte is going to walk? Do you know what? We're just lucky that he's a winner, lads, because he will not quit. He's not a quitter. Winners don't quit. Winners will go through all the shit and see something out. But when it comes to the summer, what we are leaving ourselves open to is United to be looking for a manager. There'll be other European giants around Europe looking for a manager. What they will do is they'll come and test Tottenham's water for Conte. He'll probably, and what they'll do is they'll say, look, we have 150 million war chest. Come to us. We'll bring exactly who you want and stick behind your project, and we'll go your way. Then he's left in a position where he's sitting there weighing it up. Okay, Daniel Levy's coming to me to promise me he'll spend money, but he didn't back me in January. And now a club is offering me 150 million to do it my way. He's out of here. And then where do we go from there? You've had 3 of the 5 world's best managers in Pochettino and Jose Mourinho and Conte, who are all born winners. There's 2 left you can go and get after that. It's Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. You think they're coming to Tottenham to train Harry Winks and Ben Davies and try and get more out of them? Players like that. Not a fear of it. What do? They spend money when they see a player's not good enough and they replace it. So if Conte does go, we're in for a long, long transition period at this club.
David, as it's day 28 and we've missed down loads of signings and we've on targets and whatnot. Is there any way for you? Is there any pathway for us to have a successful window from now to the end of the window for you? Is there any chance we can, or is the damage already being done for you?
Do you know what, lad?
Come on.
Just a little couple of things, right? If we decide to rapidly change our business model from today till the 31st, we can change our transfer window completely. Go and bring in who you want, and then the last couple of hours you will get an Ndombele Ollie on a Dele Alli out the door when they realise there's no way back for them. You look at the Sofyan Amrabat deal, that is lined up. That is just waiting and being ready to go, pull the trigger. But again, the reason why we haven't even brought him in is because we haven't got rid of someone. But you know what? With all these protests going on at Hotspur Way, I don't know why, But I just have a feeling Daniel Levy will sanction a signing or two on deadline day just to kind of turn around to Spurs fans and go, what's all the noise about? I could just see it coming. But look, what I'd say to Spurs fans is see through that. Unless it's genuine quality coming in the door, see through all of that. But look, do you know what? Through all this hard time, look, I know the transfer window is a minefield. I know the club is pissing everybody off right now. But look, at the end of the day, no matter what, we still all love this club. Just through all these hard times, just tell yourself, I love Tottenham Hotspur, and maybe sit back, do whatever it is you like to do to relax, put on a bit of Bob Marley, and you'd be grand. Look, few days left. We're all going to be watching, no matter how pissed off we are, we're all going to be watching Clued In on deadline day. You know what I mean? But you probably get that guy Ollie Tanner in as well, the guy who's constantly criticising and joking about Tottenham Hotspur. He'll probably walk in as well. Safran Amrabat, Ollie Tanner, and then he'll be standing there deadline day and going, what's all the noise about?
Well, if we do bring in Ollie Tanner and Sofian Amrabat, what is our chances for top 4?
Look, I still believe we can get top 4 purely because we have Romero coming back, Son coming back, Dyer's back in the team. But that's more of an indictment on the Premier League outside the top 3 rather than how good Tottenham Hotspur are. The fact that United and West Ham, Arsenal, all them other teams have left the door open for us. And just because we have the Conte factor, I do believe he'll find a way to get top 4. But in order to make this guy's job easier, just bring in 2 or 3 players of quality that this guy can use, but players that can come in and make an instant impact. Look, I would take, honestly, it's getting to that point where Amrabat's coming in and I'm trying to find the positives just because I want new players at Tottenham Hotspur. You know, I just want new players that badly. I'm trying to find positives out of absolutely anything I can. Yeah.
Would you take Morata, Dave? Would you take Morata?
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't really rate him, to be honest with you. I think he's slow. I think, you have to put the chances on the plate for him. And even then, it's 50-50 whether he's going to take it or not. But right now, where we're at, I mean, what he could do is provide a different option where you can start maybe putting balls in the box if you're trying to chase a game the last few minutes, get him in there and get him to go and try and attack them. Look, honestly, I take anything right now. I take Martin from League 2 right now. I'm not messing. I just want new players in this club.
Yeah. All right, Dave. Great call as always, my friend, and we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me. And King Irish is back, baby.
I'm the Spurs. Come on.
Love it, David.
Love that, Dave. We got some super chats to get through. Neil Thomas, welcome to Silver, brand new member. TJ says agents have a responsibility to alert their clients, preferred clubs to rival bids. Meeting the release clause first time wouldn't have mattered. Pedro Vasquez Sanchez says we should have sold Kane to City and rebuilt the squad. We should have invested in Adama. Do we have a voice as fans, or are we just blowing in the wind? Probably just blowing in the wind, to be honest.
Why? What? Do we really believe if we sold Kane, would be in a better position now?
Definitely not.
I don't believe that.
If we would have sold Kane, we would have brought in probably like 2 or 3 average players, and that was about it.
Exactly. Probably would have brought in Morata to replace Kane.
Yeah,
probably
literally.
knowing Tottenham. We're lucky we still have Kane right now. Otherwise, we have no chance of top 4. That's how I see it.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And David Harris Lowe, member for 11 months, big up, says back the team and the team will back you. I mean, I'm not sure it works like that with Levy at the helm, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's only so much. Exactly. It's not as simple, unfortunately.
It's more like being in an abusive relationship. As much love as you give to the team, the
Keep
club
doing
just
the same
punch you
thing.
back in the face. You know what
Exactly. That's how it feels.
I mean? Let's bring on Finn.
Hello, lads. Hello. How are you all?
Yeah, not bad, Finn. How are you?
Just absolutely torrid time. Yeah, I'm fine with you. Just the thing is, what Levy has just run this club in an absolute just shambolic way. I mean, ever since the however many transfer windows you can put it in, it's just been gone to absolute shreds. Just think about the windows just think about the one after the Champions League final. What Poch said, this was not good enough. We didn't, and we just bought And Ndombele, no one thought Ndombele would go at it this way, did you? I mean, no one would have predicted that. I don't think anyone did either. But and then the recruitment goes. We signed Lo Celso, Sessegnon. The squad has problems, and Levy just can't get the new players into the squad, and it's just all gone to shreds at the moment. Our squad is not good enough for top 4, and if we want to make the step from the Europa League to the Champions League, we have to invest in 2 quality £50 million players if we want to get it done. We can't stick with these average centre backs, a 35-year-old goalkeeper, and with players that just are not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and it's just not good enough, really.
Yeah, is it? And how? Yeah, exactly. And we're on day 28 now. We've been spending most of this window either just frustratingly going after deals which look unlikely
which
or
is
being
not gonna
gazumped.
work.
Yeah, and where do we go in the last 3 days? Is there any chance we can get any sort of targets, do you think?
I hope we can sign Diaz, but that's gonna be unlikely considering what Liverpool are doing. I'm pretty sure that is going to be accepted in the next couple days. And then there's Amrabat, the midfielder, who I don't know about you lads, but he reminds me a lot of Jedson Fernandez in a way. We signed him on loan with an obligation to buy, I believe, but it all went. We expected Jedson to become, I don't know, a good talent, a good midfielder, but it was awful, really. I'm getting the same kind of feeling for Amrabat. I don't think he's good enough, in my opinion. I think he is just a depth kind of signing, if you think so.
Yeah, and if we just get Amrabat, it's going to be a very, very disappointing window. And
yes,
very. It was a window which a lot of was expected a lot of, with the likes of Paratici and Conte at the helm.
Yes.
Are you disappointed in Paratici, or do you not put any blame on him?
Very. I mean, I don't know what this hype came from when we first got him over the summer. Like we all thought he was gonna be like something special. Like he was going to be the missing piece in the jigsaw. But what has he done for the club? I mean, he's scouted a couple of good players, Sarr, who's currently on loan at Metz, but what has he done besides that? There was all this unwanted hype for Paratici, and it seemed like we were going to have a big window when Conte was making all these claims about, the squad isn't good enough, like some of the previous callers have said. The squad is not good enough to compete for top 4. The level of Tottenham has dropped massively over the years. But we expected a window where we were going to make it big, and it just hasn't happened.
You say, you're not impressed with Paratici and stuff like that, but any sort of sporting director, anyone that comes in this club, ultimately doesn't do well enough. So, I mean, do you reckon it's mainly down to Paratici, or his arms tied behind his back by Daniel Levy like he does with everyone else?
Yeah, Paratici is trying to sign players, but if we want to get top 4, we don't have the funds. I don't think we have enough the money to try and sign these players. Like, if we sign Diaz for £65 million, let's just say, that's our budget gone. If we sign Diaz for about £65 million, then what's left of our budget? Sales from Lo Celso, Dele, maybe that will give us £10 million, £20 million maybe for Lo Celso, maybe Dele on loan. But I mean, Levy has just he's really poisoned the club, and I hope that I'll make it big on the 31st of January at the protest at the training ground, and we need to make our voices heard to say this is not your this is not business you just throw to the side and run your other company. This is Tottenham. You have to run this club with care, and it's just, I don't think he is caring about the club and is taking it seriously about what our situation is currently in at the moment.
All right, Finn. Great call. Some really good points made.
Thank you.
And we shall
mate.
speak to you soon, my friend.
Cheers, Finn. Oh, he's gone straight away. All right.
That was quicker exit than Brexit. But look, I think, is there anywhere else? No more guests. There has been a update from Fabrizio Romano in the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes, saying that he expects Spurs to have really busy and crazy last few hours and days of the window, just because we need to do something. This was on Last Word on Spurs. He's been speaking. He said, in this crazy and difficult situation, I'm sure Paratici is the best person to do it because he's used to dealing with many players at the same time. Does that fill you with any confidence at all?
Well, why have we not done anything then?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't understand that. He also has confirmed that there's been no approach for Morata, he's saying, at this current time. That's what he's hearing. So take of that what you will.
All right, well, that brings a close to the Good Morning Tottenham for today. We'll be back with any news that drops as and when that does drop. So thank you, everyone, for joining today. We'll see you all very soon. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.